International Women's Day is an opportunity to reflect on the progress we've made towards gender equality, but perhaps more importantly, to look at the progress that we still need to make, because we do not live yet in a gender equal country or a gender equal world. And this year it is particularly important, I think, that we see International Women's Day as a time of solidarity with women and girls in conflict, not least in Ukraine right now, and on the front line of climate change and poverty and inequality. So it is about reflecting on progress, it's about solidarity, but it's about rededicating ourselves to winning that battle for gender equality for the sake of the next generation. But if I look back on my career now, I know that there were attitudes and mindsets and behaviours that held me back or could have held me back, and that would include being treated differently because of my gender. So behaviours that in men are seen as strong and empowered, in women are seen as off-putting. And one of the things that was often said about me when I was younger in politics is that I never smiled, and as well as not thinking that was true, that's not something you would ever hear said about a man. So the attitudes, the fact that as a woman, and I still feel this today, you constantly feel as if you have to be better than the men around you in order to prove yourself. So you've got to be twice as good as them, sometimes to be considered just half as successful. So there are still these pressures. And of course, like many other women and girls today, I've suffered the abuse, the harassment, the misogyny that unfortunately still afflicts our lives. One of the things I often consider myself very fortunate for is growing up in politics at a time before social media, because I think the impact of that right now makes all of that so much worse for women and girls. The solution to this is not for women to do better or for women to change themselves. The solution to this is for men to stop behaving in a misogynistic manner. It's for men to stop abusing and harassing women, and it's for the whole culture of our society to change. So I actually think for the period ahead, we've got to put much more of the spotlight on men, because they, not all of them obviously, but they are the perpetrators of misogyny and harassment and abuse, and it's their behaviour that's got to change.